Joining us right now is Bidisha Pillai. She's the CEO of Save the Children. Thank you so much, Bidisha, for joining us. First of all, the reason why this campaign was conceptualized, why do you think that it is very, very important to highlight the suffering of these children, more so because of coronavirus?
Well, thank you so much to NDTV for really partnering with us to shine a spotlight on the invisibles. Save the Children has tremendous experience in being the first responders for children in any crisis. So we are the first to arrive and we're the last to leave, and we've done it during the tsunami, during floods in Kerala and Kashmir, during cyclones like Fani, the Nepal earthquake. I mean, every single one of these situations, we've seen that essentially the needs of the children kind of always take a backseat, right? And if you're looking at catering to adults in the situation of a crisis, the needs of children are very different and cannot be clubbed with the adults. Now, we are today faced by what is probably the greatest challenge of our lifetimes, right, in terms of a crisis. And just as in the other situations, in this situation as well, children have a multiple sort of complications that they're facing. Firstly, there is very little known about this crisis and how to deal with it. And that awareness and knowledge needs to be translated to the communities and the children. There is definitely the impact of health that we're all hearing about. There is hunger that they're all facing. We are talking about migrant workers of the poorest families. It's their children who are facing hunger first and foremost. But in addition to that, they're also facing a loss of education with schools being closed. Their access to learning opportunities have been cut off. But for many of these poorest children, it's actually also the place where they would go and get their only proper meal of the day, the midday meal, which is provided in school. And this is just the immediate effect. As the economic crisis probably deepens and families are pushed into poverty, we are likely to see the impact of that on children in terms of increased child labor, more early marriage, trafficking, and many such issues, right? So if you think about the problem, it's got many, many effects that it can actually have on children than we are currently discussing and hearing about.
Right. Bidisha, I must say that, we've worked with Save the Children and you and your team for quite some time now. I'm just bowled over by the work that you do and the dedication and passion that is involved, and it's such an important area you're working in. And I've watched how you're always there, as you say, first to arrive. But this is really one of the worst crises you must have faced in all your years, especially in a lockdown. I mean, there are children suffering. How do you even get there? How do you get food to them? How do you make sure that they are taken to a safe place?
Yes, absolutely, Dr. Roy, and so good again to be talking about issues regarding children. You're absolutely right. I think at this point of time, what we've done is to say that our response has to be tailor-made to the problems that we see children facing, right? So what we did is we focused on getting the knowledge and the awareness out to the children. They needed to understand what the pandemic is, how they can, sort of protect themselves from it, and how do they cope with the situation. The second thing that we've been providing, of course, is hygiene and sanitation kits. So things like masks, soap, hand sanitizers, sanitary towels for the slightly older children, dignity kits for pregnant or new mothers, things that they would need as absolutely essential at this point of time. And then the third immediate need is really to tackle the issue of hunger and security. for which we've been providing rations to the children and their families. So things like rice, dal, onions, potatoes, things that they would sustain them, you know, for a longer period of time than the immediate rations that they had for 1 or 2 days.
Yes, Bidisha. Thank you so much, Bidisha, for all this information that you've given us. बहुत ज़रूरी हो जाता है कि हमारे वो बच्चे जो इस वक्त सड़कों पर हैं उनके बारे में हम सोचें. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका.